Good morning, dear students. In the earlier chapter, we have learned units and dimensions. In this chapter, you will learn motion in a straight line. The straight line motion is also called rectilinear motion or one-dimensional motion. First, you should know what is motion and what is rest. So first we define motion. An object is said to be in motion if its position changes with time. For example, a bus is going in front of us. So, as the time passes, what happens to the position of the bus? The position of the bus changes with time. Then we can say that the bus is in motion. Then what is rest? An object is said to be at rest if its position doesn't change with time. Yeah, for example, if you stand on a ground and if you see a tree, the position of tree doesn't change with time, then we can say that the tree is at rest. So now can we differentiate what is motion and what is rest? If position of an object changes with time, then we can say that the object is in motion. If position doesn't change with time, then object is said to be at rest. Dear students, as most of you are from Telugu medium, I'll also explain everything in Telugu. You need not to worry about that. ఎస్, కాలంతో పాటు ఒక వస్తువు యొక్క స్థానంలో మార్పు కనుక వస్తే ఆ వస్తువు మోషన్లో ఉందంటాం. కాలంతో పాటు ఒక వస్తువు యొక్క స్థానంలో మార్పు కనుక రాకపోతే ఆ వస్తువు రెస్ట్లో ఉందని అంటాం. ఫ్రేమ్ ఆఫ్ రెఫరెన్స్. ఎ కోఆర్డినేట్ సిస్టమ్ along with a clock is called frame of reference. To specify position, we need a reference point and axis. So to make this axis, we take rectangular coordinate system. So this coordinate system along with a clock is called frame of reference. For example, you are standing here. So you are standing here. So now what we do is, now we take a reference point here. Now we take x-axis in this direction and y-axis in this direction, x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Z-axis is perpendicular like this, perpendicular to the board plane. I mean here paper plane. Z-axis like this, and here we take a clock to measure the time, isn't it? Yes. So this coordinate system along with a clock is called as your frame of reference because you are standing here. Suppose here we have your friend is here. So now what you do is, here take origin here and take x-axis in this direction, y-axis in this direction, and z-axis in this direction, and we place a clock here, and this is called your frame of reference. Now we define path length or distance. The length of the path traversed by an object is called distance. Yes, for example, you are starting here, Nizamabad, and you are coming to Basar. Suppose you are following this path and finally you are reaching Basar. Now what is the distance traveled? The length of the path. You need to measure the whole length. So this whole length is called as path length, or it is also called as distance. If it is, let's say, 35 kilometers, then what is the distance traveled or path length? That is 35 kilometers. Yes, I would like to explain this frame of reference a bit clear. Suppose we have three friends. Person A is here, and person B is here, and let's say person C is here. Let's say the distance between these two persons, let's say 20 meters, and the distance between these two persons, let's say 30 meters. Now we take frame of reference. Now according to frame of reference A, so what we do is we take origin and we take place axis this way, And of course, yeah, here we don't need y-axis and z-axis. Of course, still we can show y-axis here, and let's say this is xa and ya, and this side actually z-axis is perpendicular to the paper plane like this, perpendicular to the paper plane like this. Now, according to in frame of reference A, what is the position of B? The position of person B we can represent with like this: x equal to how much? 20 meters. And what about the position of A in his frame of reference? X equal to 0. So in frame of reference A, the position of A itself is 0, and position of B is how much? X equal to 20 meters. And what about the position of C? So from here to here, what is the value? 20 plus 30. So the position of C with this in frame of reference A, that is x equal to 50 meters. So this is about frame of reference A. Now what about frame of reference B? Now what we do is, again in frame of reference B, we take origin here and place x-axis this way. That means already xa is there. You can write xb, and here we take yb, and this way we can also write zb. Now in frame of reference B, what is the position of this person B? X equal to 0. But what about the position of A with respect to B, person B? You can write this is negative side, no? So what we do is, the position of A with respect to B is x is equal to minus value, because this is negative x, right? So minus 20 meters. What about the position of C with respect to B? You can write x is equal to, yeah, from here to here, what is the value we have? 30 meters. Hope you are able to understand this one. Now let us take frame of reference C. So here we take origin. So this side we take xc, and this side we take yc, and this side we take zc. Now according to frame of reference C, what is the position of B? So this is plus x-axis, this is negative minus x-axis, right? So the position of B with respect to C is x is equal to minus 30 meters. And what about the position of A in the frame of reference C? From here to here we have 30, and from here to here 20. So the position of A in frame of reference C, so the value will be x equal to minus 50 meters. So this is the way we take frame of reference. Now when it comes to path length or distance, the length of the path traversed by an object is called distance. Now what about the unit of this quantity? Now from now onwards, whenever a new quantity comes, let us write units. So what is the unit of distance or path length? Meters. Now let us define displacement. The shortest distance between initial point and final point is called as displacement. The shortest distance means we have to move straight away, right? So this is called distance or path length, but this is called as displacement. The shortest distance between initial point and final point. So here we can write this is displacement, and this is path length. This means from here to this whole distance, this whole length is called path length. It is also called distance. Now when it comes to unit, the unit of displacement or distance both have same units, that is meters. Both have same units, that is meters. Now do you understand the difference between distance and displacement? Let's say we are starting from Nizamabad and we are reaching Basar. Let's say this distance travel is 35 kilometers. But if we measure the straight line distance, let's say this value is 25 kilometers. So actually the distance traveled by you is 35 kilometers in this way, but what about your displacement? 25 kilometers only. That means distance and displacement, these two are not same. They may be in particular cases, but in every case they need not to be same. Yes, let us take an example to understand the difference between distance and displacement. Suppose you are standing here. I am not showing you, but I am showing your frame of reference. So at your location, what do? We take origin, and your friend standing at a position A. Yeah, your friend is here. He is standing at a distance 100 meters from you. Now how do we represent position of your friend? Yeah, we can write x of a, xa, subscript x a is equal, we can write 100 meters. So this is your frame of reference. Now your friend starts moving this way. Yeah, this is the initial position. This is the initial position of your friend. Now your friend start moving in x direction. Let's say he is moving from point A to let's say point B. It is here. Let us call this point B. Now xb, let us call it as 400 meters. Now he is not stopping here, and still he is moving some other point. Let's say point C. Let's say xc is equal to 700 meters. Now here he is stopping. Then let's say he is moving back. Now again he is moving back like this. He is moving back, and let's say he is reaching a point and he is stopping here. He is stopping here. Let's say this point, let us call this point as D. Now this position, let us represent this position with xd is equal to, let's say this is the point D is in between A and B. Now we can write this one 100 meters and 400 meters. Let us call this one as 200 meters. This figure not drawn to the scale, అంటే దట్ మీన్స్ ఈ పాయింట్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్ మధ్యలోనే ఉందనుకోకండి, ఎక్కడో దగ్గర ఉందనుకోండి. సో వాల్యూ 200 meters అంటున్నాను నేను. Now he is not stopping here itself, and again he is moving toward this way. He is moving toward this way, and finally he is reaching a point here. This is the final point. Let us call this point as E. Now let's say the distance from here and here is 100 meters. Now how do we represent the position of E? We write minus 100 meters because this is origin, right? కాబట్టి ఈ వాల్యూని ఎలా రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తామో మనం ఎక్స్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ ప్లస్ 100 రాయం. ఇటువైపు ఉన్న వాల్యూస్ అన్ని పాజిటివ్ రాస్తాం, ఇటువైపు ఉన్న వాల్యూస్ మనం ఏం చేస్తాం, నెగటివ్ రాస్తాం. ఎస్, నౌ ఐ వాంట్ టు నో ద డిస్టెన్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ఏ టు సి and displacement. Now I'll explain the difference between distance and displacement. Now let us measure distance traveled by your friend when he moves from A to C. That means when he moves from A to C, first he is moving from A to B, then he is moving from B to C. So ABC means what do we need to do? We need to find from the distance from A to B, then B to C. So AB plus BC. So what is the distance from A and B? This is 100 meters and this is 400 meters. So from here to here the distance is 300 meters plus from B to C we have 400 and 700. So from here to here again how much distance is there? 300 meters. So then what is the total distance traveled by your friend from A to C? That is 600 meters. And what about the distance traveled by your friend when he moves from ABC? That means he is moving from A to B, B to C, and again he is coming back now. He is moving forward direction initially, and again he is moving backward direction. That means what do we need to do? We need to find when he travel from A to D, he is not moving directly from A to D. He is moving from A to B first, then B to C, then he is coming back to D. Then what do we need to do? AB plus BC plus CD from here to here also. From AB, BC we already got these two values. 300 plus 300 from here to here. What is the value? This position is 200 and this position is 700. So from here to here the value is 500, right? So 500 plus 600. So how much do we get? 1100 meters. Now let us find the distance traveled by the whole distance traveled by the person from point A to E. Now the distance is called as A, B, C, D, G. So how do you find the whole distance from A to A to E. So first he is moving from A to B, B to C, C to D and D to E. So AB plus BC plus CD plus DE. So AB value we already got 300, BC value 300 and CD value we already got 500. Now DE, D is here and E is here. D position is 200, right? That means origin to, from here to origin, the distance is 200 meters. From here to here, what is the distance? 100 meters. So this value is 300 meters. Now what is the total distance traveled? 3 plus 3 plus 5, 11 plus 3. So 1400 meters. 1400 meters. This is the total distance traveled by your friend when he moves from A to E. Now let us find the displacement of your friend when he moves from A to C. So displacement, yes, we don't give the intermediate points. We don't represent point B here. Simply we say AC. So how do we define displacement? The shortest distance between initial point and final point. Just we take initial point and final point. So what is the final point here? XC. And what is initial point? A. So XC minus A. What is XC value? 700 meters minus and XA value. How much is there? 100. So what is this value? Displacement is 600 meters. Now let us find the displacement between A and D. A and D. So what do we write? XD minus XA. What is XD? XD value is 200 is there and XA value 100. So what is the displacement when the person moves from A to D? See, actually the person is moving from A to B, B to C and again he is coming to D. But when we measure distance, we need to add the whole path length, A to B, B to C and C to D. But when it comes to displacement, we don't bother about the path traveled by the person. Just we see initial point and final point. So what is the final point? D. What is the initial point? D. Just we see the shortest distance between the 2 points. That means simply we take XD minus XA. Now we get this value 100 meters. Now let us find the displacement between initial point and final point, completely final point, that is A and E. Now AE. So how do we find AE? So XE minus XA. What is XE value? That is minus 100 is there. Minus XA, initial position 100. So what is the value? Minus 200 meters. Now do you understand the difference between displacement and distance? When you see distance, in distance are we getting any negative value? No, distance is always positive. But what about displacement? In displacement we are getting positive values and we are also getting negative value. That means distance can never be negative. Distance is always a positive quantity. Displacement can be negative, can be positive. This is very, very important to remember. Distance can never be negative. It is always a positive quantity, but displacement either it can be negative or positive. Yes, as I said, distance can never be negative, but displacement either it can be positive or negative. So I would like to take an example to explain this one. Yes, you are standing here. Yeah, you are standing here. Your friend is here. Yeah, your friend is here. So how do we make your frame of reference? Yeah, at your location we take origin, and usually we take x-axis this side. And what about this side? This side also we have axis. But what about this one? This is negative x-axis, right? And of course here we don't need y-axis and z-axis, because yeah, your friend is moving only in along negative. Let us assume initially is here and he is moving towards negative x-axis. So let's say the distance between you and your friend is, let's say, 100 meters. Say initial point is A. So how do we represent the position of your friend initially? We say XA is equal to, we write minus 100 meters. Do you understand this minus sign? Suppose if you are here and if your friend is this side at 100 meters distance, you can write x of a equal to plus 100. But your friend is negative side, right? So that's why we represent your friend position with minus 100 meters. Now he is moving from this point A to point B is there. Here, let's say point B. Let's say point B is at 400 meters from this point. So we write xb is equal to minus 400 meters. So your friend is moving from here to here. Now what is the distance traveled by your friend? Distance traveled by your friend is from here to here 100 meters is there, from here to here 400 meters. So what is the distance traveled by your friend? So distance traveled, here we write distance traveled is 300 meters only. But what about the displacement? Displacement, we need to check the coordinates. So final value, what is the final value? xb. What is the initial value? xa. xb is how much is there? Minus 400 minus initial value minus 100. So what is this value? Minus 300 meters. Now do you understand? So distance traveled is 300 meters only. We are not supposed to write negative sign here. Distance can never be negative, but displacement, it can be negative. It can be negative in this case. Yes, now let us see the difference between distance and displacement in detail. Yes, suppose here we have a circular track in a ground. Yeah, we have a circular track in a ground. Yeah, let's say the radius is r. Yeah, you are starting here. And you are going like this and you are completing one round. So after completing one round, what is the distance traveled by you? Distance traveled by you, that is nothing but circumference of the track, right? So the value is how much? 2 pi r. But what about the displacement? Displacement is 0 only, because your initial point is this one and your final point is also this one. So in this case, distance is 2 pi r. By using this formula, 2 pi r you will get. If r equal to 100 meters, just you need to substitute r equal 100 meters. But what about the displacement? Whatever may be the radius of the circular track, so your displacement is 0 only. And on this circular track, let us assume, suppose you are starting here and you are completing only half of the track, half of the circular path. That means you are coming from here to here. This is the initial position and this is the final position. In that case, what is the distance traveled by you? That is nothing but half of the circumference, right? That is pi r. Pi r is the distance traveled by you. But what about the displacement? Displacement is nothing but the shortest distance between initial point and final point. That is nothing but diameter, right? The diameter of the circular track, that is nothing but 2 into r. So this is the main difference between distance traveled and displacement. Not only this one, in the third example, let us take the third example, the same track. Now you are starting here and you are completing one round, second round, third round, and so on. You are completing 10 rounds. So after completing 10 rounds, what is the distance traveled by you? The distance traveled by you in 10 rounds is 10 into the circumference of the track, that is 10 into 2 pi r. This is the distance traveled by you. But what about the displacement? Displacement is 0 only, because your initial position is this one and after completing 10 rounds again you will come to the same position, right? So initial position and final position both are same, so the displacement is 0 only. The rounds maybe you may run 10 rounds or 100 rounds, whatever may be the number of rounds, so the displacement is 0 only. Hope you are able to understand the difference between distance and displacement now.